Oh, hello, it's Ms.Mack. Pleasure to yoga with you today. Let's begin with a long, deep, satisfying breath. Breathe in. Let it go, my pals. Do it again. Breathe in. I feel better already. Before we do even one single pose, I want you to check out how you can be a little nicer to your body right now, this very moment. Could your shoulders be a little more relaxed? You relax the muscles in your face instead of clenching our jaw or squeezing our eyes. Maybe totally relax in our face. Check out if your hands are balled up at all or your toes might even be a little bit curled under. Let all of that go, my dudes. We're going to relax our whole body right now. Let's take one more breath together. And we are ready to move. Stand up tall. Let's begin with some movements that are simply pleasant, I think. Stand on one foot and roll your ankle. Roll it the other way. Point and flex your foot like you're waving hello. Bonjour, au revoir, bonjour, au revoir. And then do your other foot. You are welcome to go faster or slower if you would enjoy that more. And then roll your ankle the other way. Point and flex your foot. Hola, adios, hola, adios. Put that foot down. Pick up the first one and just give it a shake-a. And shake your other foot as well. Park both feet on the floor. And I want you to take the longest time you've ever taken in your life to stretch to the side. I mean real slow. Still going, still going, still going. Eventually meet me over here in one of my very most favorites, Artha Chandrasana A. What does that mean in English? If you said half moon pose, you were right. Stand up tall. And let's take it the other way, my dudes. The transition is so slow. Let's enjoy it. Reach up. Oh, look with your eyes and notice anything. I'm looking at a window right now. I'm seeing green leaves. I see my hand. I see the ceiling. And eventually we'll arrive in this pose. Meet me here in half moon. And come up, up, up. Roll one shoulder and then the other. Change direction. And then add some drama. Maybe your elbows. Maybe you move your torso. You do not have to look just like me as long as you are rolling your shoulders back. And switch. Again, we want drama here. I'm going to imagine that I am swimming. If it doesn't feel nice to add your arms, you don't have to. Just make it a little bit bigger than you did the first time. And we lift both arms overhead. And come back to center. Today we are talking about the idea of flow. A flow in yoga is when you just cycle between two or more poses over and over. The first one I'm going to teach you is a half sun salutation, which is Artha Chandrasana. I'm going to have to look up the Sanskrit. Oh my goodness, Ms.Mack. Even teachers make mistakes. It happens. Put your feet underneath your hips. Lift your hands over your head. This is Urdhva Hastasana, or upward salute. And then your chest goes down, down, down as you reach for your toes. And this is Uttanasana, forward fold. Come up halfway. So my whole body looks like a capital L here. If I were turned sideways, I would look like this. This is Artha Chandrasana, and I love how this feels. Go back down, down, down. Lift all the way up. And bring the palms together. So that whole shebang is a half sun salute, and you can just loop it over and over and over. It's kind of like a dance. Try it with me. We lift. And lower. Come up halfway, my dudes. Back down. Up, 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 up. Palms together. I'm going to say the Sanskrit names this time. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. A little faster. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. A little faster, we lift up, all the way down. Halfway lift. Sink back. Stretch the stars. Palms together. A little faster, we take it up and down. Halfway up. Back down, all the way up. As fast as you can go. Here we go. One more. Give everything a little shake, a little wiggle. So a half sun salutation. What we just did is not something that Ms.Mack made up. It's a pretty classical part of yoga, and it is an example of poses that easily flow into one another like a dance. You are going to be able to create your own flow in a couple of minutes. So I want to offer you a few of my favorites. These ones are made up by Ms.Mack instead of classical. So let's step 1 foot back to Warrior 2. Be mindful of your space. If you're in a group, please make sure that you're not invading anybody else's space. Maybe you need to step forward or back or side to side. That's fine. And remember, Warrior 2 is like a surfer stance. If I were turned sideways, I would look like this. And you are perfectly welcome to wiggle and wobble if you would like. So this is the first pose in our new flow. My hands come up and over so that I wind up in Anjaneyasana, or a runner's lunge. Here's my second pose in this flow. The hand by my big toe stays down. Opposite hand lifts. I'm in a dragonfly twist. Here's the third pose in our flow. This hand comes down. Oh, I love this part. Walk your hands until you're facing sideways and folded forward. Roll up, up, up. Through star pose. Back to Warrior 2. Hey, the whole thing is a loop. We're back at the beginning. Now that you know all of the poses, make them flow, make them whoosh and dance into one another. Also, your flow does not have to go faster and faster. I just thought that was fun. That's just one option. Warrior 2 with me, pals. And Anjaneyasana, a lunge. A dragonfly twist. Back down to a lunge, forward fold. Come up, 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 stretch like a star. Back into Warrior 2. This will be our last time. Here we are in a lunge, ready to run a race. Dragonfly's wing picks up. Come on, back down, walk around and around. And you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Roll it up, up, up. Be a shooting star in the sky. Bend your knees. Jump your feet together. Come back to the middle. Because guess what? We got to do that whole thing on the second side. I was coming close so that I could check the time. That's all. Whew, are you ready for that on the second side? On the second side, here we go. Pick up your opposite foot so you can swing back into Warrior Two. Warrior Two is different than a lunge. Do you see how my back foot is planted? I'm not like this, I'm like this. My heel is down, my toes are down. My hands come up and over. Anjaneyasana, a runner's lunge. My outside hand, so the hand by the pinky toe, ooh, that's the one that lifts. I'm a dragonfly. Put your hand down by your big toe. Walk around and around and around. If you tangled up, you went the wrong way, and you know what, that's fine, it happens. Bend your knees as you come up, or you might kind of tumble backwards. Flip your toes out. Lift your hands. Hey, superstar. And we're back at the beginning, my pals. Let's do the whole thing 2 more times. Show me you're strong, you're mighty, you're fierce, Warrior Two. Get ready to run that race. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ms.Mack is. A dragonfly lifts. My hand comes down. I walk around and around. Roll it up, up, up. And our last one will be a little bit faster. Show me your Warrior Two. Your lunge. Dragonfly. Wide-legged forward fold. Star pose. Bend your knees. If you're wearing a microphone, don't jump on it. Bend your knees and jump together. Come back to face me. Pick up one foot, roll your ankle. Spread your toes out. And then do the other side. Pick up your foot, give a little shake. Why do we do this in yoga? This does not look like a yoga pose. This is not fancy. This is not even slow. Why would we do this? What do you think? Because it feels good. That's why. And it's good for our body and it allows us to focus. And that is enough. Everybody touch the sky. Touch your toes. And come talk to me. Be seated. So, we learned what a flow is. It's 2 or more yoga poses that you repeat, and it's a cycle. So it's something you can do over and over without end. We learned Artha Chandrasana, which means half Sun Salutation in English. That one is very classical, very traditional. That is something you would find all over the world. Or you also learned a flow that Ms.Mack just enjoys, the Warrior Lunge business. Our goal for a flow is for it to feel kind of like a dance. We want it to feel like something that we can sort of get lost in. It should feel pleasant, repeating it over and over. The next time that I see you, I'm going to teach you one more of my personal favorite flows. And then, of course, you will have the opportunity to create your own. But before we pause the video, let's take one humming breath. Let all of your air go. Take a big breath in. Hum. I'm going to ask you to be ridiculous. I don't normally do this with 3rd and 4th graders, but I'm going to ask you to do a growling breath. So we'll inhale through our nose, and then you'll exhale a growl. It's kind of silly, but I think it feels great. Try it with me. We've reached our first 15-minute mark. It's time to pause the video. I'll see you again for more flows real soon. Oh, hello. The last time I saw you, we were discussing the idea of yoga flows. What is a yoga flow? Please consider in your own brain. If you said switching back and forth between two or more poses, you were right. We explored 2 flows last time I saw you. Let's do each of them one time. The first was a half sun salutation. Join me. Oh, a sun salutation. Salutation is the same thing as like a greeting, so it's like saying hello. So you can imagine that you're like greeting the sun. You're saying hello to a beautiful day is a nice way to think of this. Do it just one time with me. Breathe in. Breathe out as you reach for your toes. Breathe in as your hands slide up your shins. Breathe out as you fold back down. Breathe in as you stretch up. Breathe out as you press your palms together. We also did one of my personal favorite flows. Well, let's do it fast. It's kind of a balanced challenge, so please just be careful. Pick a side, step it back. Warrior 2. Lunge. Dragonfly. Forward fold. Star pose. Warrior. That's the whole thing. Jump your back foot forward. And let's do our second side fast. Step it back. Warrior 2. And a lunge. Dragonfly. Forward fold. Fine star. And warrior. Bend and jump. Flows, of course, do not have to be standing. One of my other favorite just made up flows is seated. So have a seat. And this is the last one I'm going to show you before you create your own. I just want you to have lots of ideas, lots of options. Let's begin ours in our seated option in Baddha Konasana, which means bound angle pose. You probably often see it as butterfly stretch in gym class, soccer, dance, gymnastics, whatever. This is our first one. We pick up our knees. I'm just going to shift sideways so you can see me better. You do not have to shift sideways. Pick up your toes. Pick up your shins. Lift high. This is Navasana. Rock forward, Dandasana. Reach for your toes. If you are not liking how this feels in the backs of your legs, it's fine to bend your knees. That is not cheating. You have permission. And then we are right back in Baddha Konasana. Do it slowly at first, please. I'm going to stay sideways the whole time. Baddha Konasana. Artha Navasana. Navasana. Paschimottanasana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang out here for a moment. You can comfy, cozy, crawl forward. Allow your head to hang heavy. Your knees do not have to be straight unless that feels good for you. And let it go. So in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to create your own flow. And some of my kids really go off and running with this, and the assignment doesn't make a ton of sense to some others. So I just want you to think of poses that kind of bump into each other. We want it to be as easy as possible to get from one pose to the next. So in a flow, it would not make sense to go from Sukhasana to Tadasana. Look, I just had to move like every muscle in my body to get between those two. It would make sense to go from Tadasana to Artha Chandrasana. That was an easy transition, right? I could just shift from one to the other until the end of time. Or it would be a logical transition. It would be easy to go between Sukhasana and, say, Baddha Konasana over and over. So it's like you're making a machine and you want it to work well, okay? So in just a second, I am going to set, this is a longer assignment, so I'll set 2 minutes on my clock, and I need you, yes you, every single one of you, to put at least 3 poses together in a loop. I would super love it if you're able to show these to one another, and they can be, as always, they can be laying down, seated, or standing. That is up to you. 2 minutes on the clock to create your personal flow. Go. If you're having trouble knowing where to start, maybe you could think of things that naturally go together, like trees, seeds, and flowers, or waves, sands, and coral. Think of things that you see next to each other in life or in nature. If you have the opposite problem and you knew what to do right away and you feel done, then add on more poses or make your existing poses a little fancier or more complicated in some way. Everybody has 1 minute to continue working. As always in my class, these do not need to be formal yoga poses. They don't need to be things that I've taught you or that you've learned from another yoga class. They can just be stretches. They can even be shapes that your body has just made up. Everybody has 25 more seconds. Keep working. Pause. Take a big breath in. Out. Everybody do your own personal flow 2 more times. And give yourself 1 pat on the back for creativity. And give yourself 1 pat on the back for bravery and challenging yourself. Excellent. Let's chill for a moment. Come to seated, please, if you are not there already. And let's do a little bit of tense and release. So as we breathe in, our shoulders will squish up to our ears as high and as tight as possible. Do that one more time. Do you see how my shoulders are hanging really low right now? They're really sloped. That's what we're trying for, as tight and then as loose as possible. One more, tense and release. The hard one. We're going to do it with our face. If you're wearing a mask, this can feel especially challenging, but I think it's really satisfying when you breathe out. So we'll breathe in. It's as if you've eaten a terribly, shockingly sour lemon, and your whole face is just as squished as tight as possible. Here we go. Breathe in. Out. One more. Squish that face. Out. Now that we've done some moving, some creating, some learning, and some breathing, I want you to take a second and just notice how you're feeling and come up with one word. You don't have to share it unless you want to. Just think in your brain, how are you feeling? Cook up a word. Cool. And then before we pause, we'll just do a couple of poses together. In your own self space, park your knees on the floor. This is called Virasana. It's my favorite way to sit. If you do not like how this feels on your knees or hips, you are welcome to come to cross-legged instead. That's totally fine. We'll just swing a couple of times here in Virasana. Hero pose. Choose a side and stay. So I'm in a twist. You can be looking to the side or you can be looking back over your shoulder. Those are both correct. Bounce a couple of more times, just swinging. Land on your second side. Breathe. Let it go. Come to the middle. Whether you're in Virasana, hero pose, or Sukhasana, cross-legged, swing one leg around and then scoot your other knee back so that you're in a half lunge. This is Artha Chandrasana, half lunge. And if this feels really nice and comfortable to you, you have total permission to stay here. If instead you want to tuck your back toes and make it look like you're running a race instead, go for it. This is what I'm going to choose. And we're just going to hang out here, enjoying this stretch in every part of our leg. Take one more breath in Anjaneyasana. Chris, plunk your knee down. And switcheroo. So my other foot just comes forward. And if you're feeling squished, then your bottom knee is probably too close to you. If you feel wobbly or weird, scoot your knee back. And it's totally up to you whether your back knee stays down. Artha means half, so we're in a half lunge right now. Or you could tuck your toe and come up. If you did the toe tuck version and it feels bad, then your booty might kind of be in the air. So we might want to be a little bit lower. If you are in jeans, this might be challenging. So just stick with it for like one more breath. And we're going to finagle into a frog shape. Place your feet a little wider than your hips. My toes are out. And we land like a frog on a lily pad. This is Malasana. It's feeling really nice to me to stay still like this. If it would feel nice to you to bounce, you are welcome to do that. Go ahead and bounce. Either way, we're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. This strong, mighty stretch for our hips and our thighs. One more. Sit in a way that your body enjoys. And I want you to think of what you've enjoyed so far in this class. Did you have a favorite pose? A favorite breath? Think about it. And we have reached another 15-minute mark. The time has come to pause that video. I will see you again so soon. Oh, hello. It's Ms.Mack. I'm so glad you're back. Let's pick one shoulder up to our ear. Be seated if you are not already, please. And I wonder if you can make yourself more crooked. Can that lifted shoulder come higher? And can your other shoulder drop lower? Come back to the middle. Do you feel a difference already? Thumbs up or thumbs down. Either answer is fine. I personally do. Do the other side. Take it up, up, up. So this is where I naturally stop, and then I'm going to challenge myself to go farther. Ooh, much more challenging for me personally on this side. Come to the middle. This one is a little weirder. Take one shoulder forward. Notice where your body is like, oh, it's gotten tricky now. And then go farther. So we're twisting. But just your shoulders are doing all of the work here, my dudes. Come to the middle. The other side. Twist. And then twist farther. Come to the middle. If you ever feel very checked out in class and you need to focus, that is what I would recommend. Just a little twist, and then look, I can still see you. You could still be looking at your teacher as you're doing this, still being respectful and participating, but getting a little bit of stretch for your body. Try it sometime. Last thing here, take a circle of your head. You know this makes Ms.Mack dizzy, so I close my eyes. You have that option as well. Circle your head the other way. Come to the middle. We're going to do one last standing series, and then I have a big mudra job for you today. Stand up tall. Yeah, that felt good. Let's sway. But pause. Do you see how one foot is staying in the air for an extra second? So take it slowly, and then you'll get some balance from it too. Do you also see how my ears are kind of bouncing from side to side? That will throw off your balance and add a little bit of a challenge. Also, I think it feels better. And come to the middle. Lift your hands overhead. Hook your thumbs. Spread your fingers out. And you see how I naturally had to bend my elbows? If it's comfortable, try to get rid of that, so reach as high as possible. Keep your hands like this. This is Garuda Mudra, or the Mudra of the Eagle, and stretch to the side. Come up. Reach through your fingers. Let go of your thumbs. Hold hands with yourself. Pull your fingers down and away. If I were sideways, I would look like this. Take your gaze up. If you hate how it feels to be holding hands with yourself behind your back, you don't have to do it. You can reach your fingers toward the floor instead, and you will still be stretching your whole body. And let everything go. Come to the middle. Shake it out if that feels nice for you. And we'll do our Garuda Mudra and our Artha Chandrasana on the second side. Lift your hands over your head. And then put your non-dominant thumb on top. So if you're right-handed, put your left thumb on top. If it feels funky, then you're doing it right. And then lift higher. So you might be kind of squishing your ears here. That's great, you're doing it right. And stretch to your second side. What our hands are doing is Garuda Mudra. What our body is doing is Artha Chandrasana. Half moon, eagle pose. Come back up. Press your palms together, bring them to the middle, and find your personal version of tree pose today. I think mine is sapling. I'm feeling happy keeping my toes on the floor like this. You might want to lift your foot to your calf or even your thigh. Go for it. Take one more long, calm breath here in Virasana, tree pose. Branches relax, trunk relaxes, shake and wiggle if you would enjoy that. Meet me back in the middle, palms pressed together. And then what does your tree look like on this side? I want my foot on my calf instead this time. You make the right decision for your leg. Drop your hands, drop your foot, a shake if it would please you. Be careful of other people. If I were in a classroom, I might have kicked somebody when I did that. Come to the middle. 2 more standing shapes. Do you see how not flowy these are? This is totally different, right? This is not at all like this. So we have way more transition built right now. They're both correct. I just want you to be aware of the difference. Next pose. Pick one foot up. For me, it's my right. Step forward. It's kind of just like you're walking. I did not take a big step at all. Stretch your arms to the side and twist toward your front leg. My right leg is in front. I need to twist to my right. So you look kind of like a hieroglyphic. If your neck feels lousy right now, then you're probably looking too far backward, and I would recommend looking more toward the middle. We do not want our neck to feel lousy. Bring your torso back to the middle. Bring your hands over your head and step onto your back foot, Ekapada Tadasana. Drop your arms, drop your foot. Second side. So I pick my second foot up. Stretch. Do I want this? No, I do not. I want this. You are flying. Expand, take up space, and twist in the direction of your front leg. Bodies do not match from side to side. They are asymmetrical. I am on my left side, and I notice I am not twisting as far. Perfectly natural. Come to the middle. Here's that big, huge transition. Take your weight back, 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 so you can pick up your leg, pick up your arms, Ekapada Tadasana, one-legged mountain. Drop those arms. Drop your feet. One last shake. Nod your head, yes. And shake it, no. And then come to seated. So before today's relaxation, I want us to come up with a mudra series. That is not as common as the idea of a flow, which is a very common idea in yoga. They're kind of related ideas. So we were doing Garuda Mudra in our asana just a second ago. Everybody do the mudra of the eagle with me. Fold your thumbs. So you can see this reasonably looks like a bird, right? Here are the wings, here's the head. What else might be something that would live, let's say maybe in a forest. What I'm saying personally is a turtle. If you came up with something different, that's totally fine. So maybe my mudra flow, my ideas that go one into the next as I practice yoga with my hands, would be in the forest. Do this with me. I'm just making this up, and then I want you to make up yours as well. In the forest flies a great bird over the trees. Way down underneath the trees in the pond lie some turtles resting on rocks. And underneath the turtles is the dirt at the bottom of the pond, way underneath where the eagles are flying. Let it go. So that's my idea. I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock for you to come up with 3 just loosely related mudra. Ms.Mack loves foresty, flowery, gardeny things. So I came up with dirt and eagle and turtle, but yours could be space themed or ocean themed, or maybe you love a certain video game or a book. I just want you to come up with 3 related mudra. Go. As always, your mudra may use one or both hands. Your mudra can move or hold still. And lastly, my expectation is not that you make something amazing or complicated. My expectation is that you try and do your best. "25 more seconds." 3 loosely connected mudra. Pause. You run through your own mudra series one more time in your head using your hands. I'll run through mine one more time. It is time for Shavasana, the rest relaxation part of class. Quickly make yourself as comfortable as possible in the space that you're in. If you're in a chair, find a way to sit that is most comfortable, most relaxing for you. If it's safe or comfortable for you to lay on the floor, you are welcome to do that if you have your teacher's permission. I will pause for a second so you have time. And then when you've adjusted as needed, you can close your eyes if that is comfortable. And let's all take one train-stopping breath together. We breathe in. Before you float away into Shavasana, I want you to just check out how you feel one more time. There is no pressure to share it. You're just coming up with a word in the privacy of your own brain. How do you feel right now? We'll enjoy a quiet, restful moment together. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to create anything new. The point of Shavasana is just to rest. Good night. Staying just as you are, whether you're sitting or laying down. Stretch your arms over your head. Roll your wrists or open or close fists. Staying just as you are. Make yourself smaller somehow. Maybe give yourself a hug. Bring your knees into your chest. Shrink yourself. Then come back to your seat if you are not there already. Thank you for exploring the idea of flow with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Lift your hands over your head, breathe in, breathe out, and we all say namaste. I'll see you next time. Ciao, pals.